Welcome to the first ever exclusive video on my membership section. Throughout the course of 2022, I'm going to make as many splits as I possibly can from one single colony. So here we are, 1st of March, pretty much the beginning of the beekeeping season. What I'm going to talk to you about in this video is the strategy of how I'm going to split that colony down into as many nucs as I possibly can, and we will see where we get to at the end of the season, see how many nucs I've managed to produce. My aim for a single colony is going to be around 40 nucs. That seems highly ambitious. What I'm going to talk to you about in this part of the video is the strategy about how I'm going to achieve 40 nucs from a single colony. We'll follow this up with various videos throughout the season. If you're a premium channel member, you're looking at the exclusive content, you'll get these videos broken down at the point in the season when they're relevant. For everyone else, you'll get it stitched together at the end as a single video showing you all of the steps all the way through. But as I said, in today's video, we're going to talk about strategy. And I've been racking my brain over winter on this video as to how I'm going to go ahead and make these splits. What am I going to do? Am I going to take a single colony of bees and then try and split that out into 4 nucs and then build up the 4 nucs and go from there? Or am I going to try and condense it down into a single colony and build that up and double up a few times before I move them into nucs? I have decided I'm going to go with the latter of those two. So at the moment, we've got a single colony. I'm going to talk to you about how I selected that colony, how I configure it to make sure that I'm getting ample and adequate growth early on in the spring. And then my plan is to take that single national deep and I want to build that up as quick as I possibly can. That's what we're going to talk about in the second episode of this series in terms of configuring that box, how to feed and how to get them to expand. But for this video, I'm just talking about the strategy. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to build that single national deep up. I'm going to put pollen patties on. I'm going to feed them 1-to-1 sugar syrup after they've had the pollen patties. I'm going to double it up, put it on a double national deep system, and I'm going to put that brood box underneath. Just in case there's any last minute snow or frost coming in, I don't want to set the colony back. We'll cover all of that in episode 2 though. So then once this double national box of bees is full, so once I've got 22 frames of bees, preferably a lot of frames of brood in there as well, I'm going to do a standard split and I'm going to add in a mated queen. Really important all the way throughout the season here, I'm not mating my own queens because it adds too much risk into the process and it's also going to slow it right down as well. I've got an ambitious target, haven't I? 40 nucs that I'm trying to get. If I put 40 nucs out and then I put grafted cells into them, I might get 25 to 30 mated, and then I'm not going to get those through the winter. So to get the absolute maximum success, I'm going with the mated queen route. So once I've done my first split, I've taken that single national deep, doubled it up, filled all the frames, made a single split. I'm going to do exactly the same process again. Add another national deep onto there to make it 2 double national deep colonies, and I'm going to build them up until they're full strength. Hopefully that's going to happen before we get to June, maybe into July. Once we get to that point in July, I'm going to take all of those frames, and I'm using the Abello 11 frame brood boxes here, poly, because they get superior build up in the spring. Obviously time is of the essence. So if you count up all those frames, that means I'm going to have 44 frames of bees. At that point, I'm going to need to make a decision. I'm either going to take a single frame of bees and brood and then make my nucs out of those, or more likely what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 2 frames of bees and brood, separate those off into a separate nuc. That will give me 22 nucs, build them up in the nuc, feed them as much as I possibly can, just keep on going, trickle feeding all the way, and then double up those nucs as well on a 6/6 configuration. And fingers crossed, before we get to say the end of August, early September, they'll be big enough for me to split one last time, add some mated queens in, and then trickle feed them going into winter. If I do it like that, I've got a chance of getting 44 nucs. I've set my target at 40, a little bit less than that, because I do think that's highly ambitious. But let's see how we go. That's what it's about, learning, trying new things, seeing what you can do with the bees, and just letting them impress you. So that's the end of this video. If you're a premium member, checking this out as exclusive content, thanks for being a member. It's very much appreciated. Your fees really do help support the channel and bring you additional content like this. This content won't go out to anyone else as a single video, and I'll just stitch together the relevant bits to people at the end of the season. Next episode, I'm going to get my bee suit on, I'm going to show you the bees that I've selected, talk about the equipment, get the pollen patties on, and get them set up to expand at a phenomenal rate.